Market ends off midday lows but near the flat line. The broader markets outperform frontline indices, financials and realty lead, while infra, auto and metal stocks lag in trade.
India's Defence Ministry clears purchases worth 21,722 crore rupees to strengthen the Navy and the coastal security ahead of Navy Day. The 5 orders spell fresh orders for local vendors like L&T, Hindustan Aeronautics, Bharat Electronics, Garden Reach Shipbuilders.
Bajaj Auto falls after two-wheeler maker cuts prices for its CNG motorbike Freedom 125 within 5 months of the launch. While on the flip side, Wonderla rises over 10% as it launches a QIP to raise funds at a floor price of 830 rupees a share. Hello and welcome to Markets Forward. I'm Nigel. With me is Rima. Well, and today we had a quiet trading session if you looked at the headline index, but otherwise plenty of stocks and sectors were in focus. Hey, Rima.
Indeed, big intraday swings, at least in the large cap space. The Nifty moved in close to about a 200-point band to end absolutely flat. We'll talk more about it, but, Nigel, the mid-cap and the Nifty Bank action was very, very strong.
Well, that's right, Rima. If you look at the Nifty, you'll say, what are you talking about? It was a flattish day. The Nifty barely moved anywhere. But I'll tell you what, there was plenty of volatility in the day. In the first hour of trade, the Nifty was up close to under 100 points. And then intraday, it lost its way. Suddenly you saw that sharp decline at around 11:15, 11:30 a.m. when the markets moved into the red. By the end of it, the Nifty ended in the green. The broader markets, though, that outperformed, and that's why your portfolio will be feeling quite good. The Nifty Bank, that's the one that was leading the charge in today's trading session. It seems to be breaking out, taking leadership back as well. And HDFC Bank is the one in there that suddenly found its form. After the recent underperformance, this one has started outperforming now. So in the 18-month time horizon, well, it's been an underperformer. But off late, with the market still around 6% away from fresh all-time highs, this one is at a 52-week high. The recently listed stocks, though, that was another space that's been buzzing off late. You had Enviro that was up close to around 20% for this week. Niva Bupa was up. NTPC Green. All these stocks are up more than 20 to 25% for the week itself. Just one common factor, they recently listed. And the float in the market is rather limited. So just be careful, when you're going to buy some of the stocks that have limited low float. Not particularly with regard to these companies, but that could be one factor at play as well. Rima.
So by the close of trade, though we came off from the day's high, we're still managing a positive tick, and this would make us close in the green for the 4th consecutive day, which Sudarshan tells us is the longest gaining streak. A 4-day gaining streak is the longest in the last 2 months, and clearly there is some excitement ahead of the RBI policy on Friday because financials continue to do well. You spoke about HDFC Bank. That's up 3.5% in the last 3 days. Let's tell you what we have lined up for you on our show today. We start with the top movers and shakers of the day with Hormuz. Stocks on our radar include Oberoi Realty, Bajaj Auto, Wonderla Holidays. Stay tuned for that. And last but not the least, we'll delve into the key market events to watch for tomorrow. But on to our first segment of the day. It's over to Hormuz for the top stock movers.
A choppy day for the benchmark indices, but the broader markets ended up in the positive, and that was a key takeaway in today's trading session. And PSU banks were the highlight yesterday. They remain the highlight in today's session as well. And look at the gains here. 8%, 11% on UCO Bank. But mind you, 4 out of these 5 names have very little float in the market. So we need to keep that in mind when we analyze these gains as well. Defense was another sector that was possibly the sector of the morning, considering the announcements that came in last evening. And most of these stocks did well in today's session, though some of them did come off the highs of the day. Gains of anywhere between 3.5% to 5.5% from the defense companies and even the shipbuilders. Now, most of the other companies that did well in today's session were based on some news flow. Star Cement after the clarification on the money control report. Swan Energy on the resumption of its shipyards. Granules put out a clarification today. Mind you, the stock is in the F&O ban. There's some gains in today's session. Oberoi Realty and JSW Infra on some positive brokerage commentary. Stocks that did well on the back of volumes in today's session. And HEG and Graphite continue to move, defying gravity. HEG is now at a 6-year high. Graphite India also ending 7% higher. A sharp spike seen in KC International towards the close of trade, 13% higher in today's trading session. And lastly, some underperformers in today's session, although the advance decline was skewed towards the advances, but some profit booking seen in Adani Green and Easy Trip, VIP, Sirma SGS and Balrampur Chini too ending near the lows of the day. Back to you guys.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Horma. So those are all the stocks that were bobbing around in trade. Well, let's get in Mayuresh Joshi, who will help us out with some fundamental analysis, and Shrikant Chouhan of Kotak Securities, who helps us with the technicals. Well, hi, gentlemen. Thanks a lot for joining in. Shrikant, you go first. Well, the Nifty took a bit of a backseat today. It took a chill pill, so to call it, because that one didn't move much. But the Nifty Bank is the one that seems to be breaking out. Levels on the Nifty Bank, and in that case, where does the Nifty move?
Yeah. Good evening, Nigel. Good evening, everyone. I think Nifty, Bank Nifty, both are following to technicals to the perfection, because when the market was like correcting from the highs, it was like very close to its previous resistance level of 24,350. And from there only today we saw again recovery in the second half, and market manages to close above the levels of 24,450 or 470. For the Bank Nifty also, there also we saw minor correction, but it is already above its previous highest level. So while looking at the setup of Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, I am of the view that market is still into strong pullback mode. Both the indices are heading higher. On immediate basis, Bank Nifty can move towards 54,000 levels. But in the best case scenario, we may even see the levels of 55,000, which is what the setup is suggesting us. But yes, we can trade long for at least 54,000 sort of levels on Bank Nifty. For Nifty, there also I'm expecting 24,700 or 750 sort of levels. Currently, it is consolidating after crossing the crucial psychological level of 24,500. So yes, we may see some consolidation, but broadly, I'm of the view that the markets are heading higher.
Mayuresh, same question to you. What's the setup looking like? I'm not asking for the day or for the next few days, but say for the next 3 weeks, what are the trends that you've observed, the way markets are moving, reacting to news flow? What does it tell you?
So, Rima, I think what really transpires is going to be how earnings will play out in the third quarter itself. But as we are heading into December, I think a large part of the market expectations is now building up for a Santa Claus rally as we speak. Obviously, I think the Fed comments today and tomorrow are going to be extremely critical. What the RBI does and the RBI commentary thereof on Friday will be an equally deciding important factor as well in terms of the guiding factor for how the markets will behave. Beyond that, my own sense is that the Santa Claus rally will come through for the Indian markets. Obviously, I think in terms of setup and sectors that might do well, in our opinion, a few of the agrochemical stocks might continue doing well. Good numbers posted in Q2 with a good Rabi season expected. Q3 might be equally good for a lot of counters within these spaces itself. A few of the infra-stroke manufacturing companies have delivered decent set of numbers, and a few of the banks. And obviously, I think as a hedge, certain pharma stocks, in our opinion, are also exhibiting very, very strong bases as we speak, with the expectations of reasonable earnings growth expected to come through for this sector as well. So I think 3-4 sectors we probably have it.
Okay, let's get to the defense stocks. They were buzzing after the Defense Acquisition Council approved 5 proposals worth a little more than 21,000 crore rupees. ISEC has written a note on it and who the likely beneficiaries could be. Upasna joins in with the details. Upasna.
Well, after a marked slowdown in the domestic ordering, DAC has approved AONs worth 21,800 crores. Which is one of the smaller ones in the recent times as it comes after a gap of about 3 months. But ICICI believes that this is comforting and positive for the sector. Now, AONs approved so far in FY25 amounts to nearly about 1.6 lakh crore versus 3.6 lakh in FY25 on a full year basis. And it expects orders of 12 Su-30 Mk1 fighters and Pinaka rocket in next 3 to 4 months. Now, the brokerages highlighted some of the key picks in the defense space, which are Solar Industries, buy rating on this stock with a target price of 13,250. Azad Engineering, buy rating on this stock with a target price of 2,450. And PTC Industries, buy rating on this stock with a target price of 20,070. Now, let us look at the stocks individually. First up is BEL. The brokerage is given a buy rating with a target price of 350, and it believes that amongst all the defense stocks, BEL is likely to benefit the most out of it due to the possible award of electronic warfare suit package, trickle-down benefit of 20 to 30% value of shipbuilding orders, and also overhaul of electronic components. Next up is Astra Microwave. ICICI Securities has given a buy rating on the stock with a target price of 935. It highlights that this company is also likely to benefit from electronic warfare suit package, particularly jammer pods and next generation radar warning receivers. Lastly, HAL will also be in focus as it is likely to benefit from procurement of advanced light helicopters and engine overhaul of Su-30 Mk-1 fighter. Now, lastly, it has also highlighted that PTC industry is also likely to benefit as companies executed MOU with HAL's Koraput facility for supply of critical components. Hence, all these stocks remained in focus today on back of this development.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Upasana. Well, Mayuresh, what do you like from the defense space?
So, Nigel, I think we spoke a couple of weeks back as well. I think Azad Engineering is one of the stocks where our belief is that with the Defense Acquisition Council actually wrapping up, the expectations of more orders coming their way. It's a very niche business that Azad probably does, critical components that it supplies. And it needs a lot of, it needs to spend a lot of time probably to have those clients on their books as well. And once these guys come in, I think more orders expected, repeat orders expected, and orders with better margins. So I think Azad is one stock we are keeping on our radar. The other ones are obviously Cochin Shipyard, but we'll wait for declines because I think they're significantly trading in late stage basis as we see it. So you need to have a significant correction in this one. We'll patiently wait for a correction if it does come through. But Cochin is something that we'll probably have on our watch list as well.
So your bet is Cochin. Shrikant, you know, amongst the charts in the defense stocks, which one looks the strongest?
I think in that particular, if we see the overall basket of defense-related stocks, then in that we like Bharat Electronics. The reason is that it is relatively doing much better than other stock, and whenever there was like in the past also, whenever the stock has fallen, the drawdown was much lesser than other stocks. And this time with the recovery, we are of the view that the stock is heading for at least 350 or 360 sort of levels. At current levels around 310, 320, 315. The risk reward ratio is quite favorable for those who would like to go for taking trading position in this particular stock. So technically, yes, we like this stock and we are expecting to move towards 360 sort of levels. We also like Bharat Dynamics because this time when the recovery had started, we saw a good amount of buying interest, delivery-based buying in the stock. And I am of the view that the stock is ready for the strongest pullback of last several recoveries. So if we see the pullback continuation sort of trend, then the stock can move towards 1600 or 1650. So Bharat Electronics as well as Bharat Dynamics should be on the watch list.
Okay, all right. Got that, gentlemen. Well, let's focus on the real estate space. And Oberoi Realty took off in today's trading session. It was up more than 5%. Nomura initiated coverage on the stock, increased the target price as well. We have Hormuz who joins us to fill us in with more details on that report. Hormuz, take it away.
Positive commentary coming in from Nomura, initiating coverage on Oberoi Realty. It's a buy recommendation, a 2,500 rupee price target, a 20+% upside from yesterday's closing levels. Now, what they said is that they're expecting solid pre-sales and cash generation from Oberoi Realty going forward, and it is poised for aggressive business development. And the pre-sales are likely to grow at a CAGR of 40%, along with a 50% plus embedded EBITDA margins over FY24 to 27 is what Nomura says. And they are expecting a cumulative hotel and annuity revenue to record a 35% CAGR over the same time period, and as a result of which they're expecting a 3,000 to 4,000 crore per annum of operating cash flow until FY27. So positive commentary coming in from Nomura on Oberoi Realty, reflecting on the stock price, a 20+% upside projected there.
Okay, all right, got that. Thanks a lot for that, Hormuz. Mayuresh, what do you make of the real estate pack? And does Oberoi come on top, or is there something better you have for us?
So, Nigel, I think the real estate cycle is continuing in real earnest. So 6-7 years of the cycle, we're in the fourth year, fifth year. I think 2 more years to go. Obviously, the pre-sales velocity has come off a tad bit, but these players are very, very cautious in terms of new launches expected to come through. But whatever launches are coming through, take the instance of DLF, take the instance of Kolte Patil in the Pune project as well, or Arvind Smart Spaces in their Ahmedabad project as well. They are getting lapped up. Inventory levels reasonable at this juncture as we speak. You're not seeing excessive build-up that is happening. In fact, excess inventory has actually come off in the past 4 to 5 quarters. the leverage has come off as well and remained stable, which means improved cash flows are exhibiting on the bottom line and return ratios as well. So I think Oberoi, urban smart spaces, real might continue doing well. But what we like as a proxy to this space, Nigel, is Capacite projects. Again, an EPC player for the real estate industry, works with many market clients within the space itself. Decent order book in excess of 9,000 crores, giving revenue visibility of 4.5 times on FY24 numbers. Margins have been decent so far. Balance sheet is very healthy and strong. And the company believes that the execution that they're probably doing as a mix of public and private, as well as high rises, which they have a special expertise in, that might continue doing well. And therefore, earnings might actually are expected to remain stable or improve in the next few quarters. So as a proxy to real estate, Capacite is something that we got.
Okay, all right, got that. Well, let's talk about some more stock-specific action then. Shares of automaker Bajaj Auto, they were in focus. The company cut its prices on a CNG motorcycle, which is Freedom 125. Separately, Wonderla Holidays, it took off for a holiday with the bulls. That was up more than 10%. Sudarshan joins us to give us a quick wrap on both these two. Sudarshan, Bajaj Auto lower, but Wonderla taking off. Tell us details of both.
That's correct. So Bajaj Auto was in focus today after there was a note from UBS saying that its dealer check suggests that company has taken a price cut on Freedom 125 bike and also for Pulsar, some of the variants of Pulsar. So entry level Freedom 125 price cut was at in the range of 5,000, and for Freedom 125 mid level segment, for that price cut was cut by almost rupees 10,000. And explaining the reason of price cut, UBS says since its launch in July 2024, company has dispatched almost 80,000 Freedom bikes, but Vahan retail data indicates that total retail sales were just 34,000 units. So this was one of the main reasons as per UBS for the price cut taken by Bajaj Auto. Another stock that was in focus today, Wonderla Holidays stock has closed higher by almost 10%. And as per sources, we understand that QIP that company has launched yesterday was fully subscribed, and QIP was launched, and for that floor price was rupees 829.74 per share. But also we have to factor that company has a board approval for total fundraising of almost rupees 800 crore. So on the back of this report, Wonderla Holidays was higher, and on the back of price cut, Bajaj Auto was lower in today's trade.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Sudarshan. Well, Shrikant, let's come across to you. Any view on both these two names? Where does support come in Bajaj Auto? Okay, all right. Okay, I think we'll go to Mayuresh first, then we'll come back to Shrikant. Mayuresh, you tell us, Bajaj Auto, it seems there is a price cut. Customers will be very happy. The problem is that, for shareholders, they're a little bit nervous. Your view?
Yeah, so I think it needs to be seen whether it's loss of demand or whether it's inventory correction that is happening in the system, because obviously what we had seen before the festive season, a lot more inventory had got pushed out to the dealer end. Dealers were already holding inventory to the excess of 4 to 5 weeks. So it might be a case of inventory correction as well. So I think we'll need to wait out for December data points on that one. But again, I think valuations a tad bit on the higher side, expectations in terms of how two-wheeler sales are expected to play out, specifically in terms of competition, 125 to 200, even the 200 to 300 cc's are seeing more launches coming, more electric vehicles being expected to get launched by competitors as well at attractive price points. We've already seen an announcement done by Ola that they will be announcing a few bikes or two-wheelers as well by the end of April 25, May 25. And therefore, I think how competition plays out on prices is something to be seen. I think TVS is a better play as far as the two-wheeler industry is concerned.
Okay, rather jump on to TVS rather than Bajaj Auto. That's what Mayuresh has to say. But thanks a lot for that, gentlemen, both Mayuresh as well as Shrikant, for joining in, giving us your view on the markets as well as on individual stocks. For the time being, we slip into a short break, but on the other side, we'll do a recap of all the top corporate voices that spoke to us all through the day. And then we'll have Vinny, who's waiting by to tell us about all the top events you need to track for tomorrow's session. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're tuned into Markets Forward. Well, as promised, let's get you all the key corporate voices that spoke to us during the course of the day. First up, Swiggy's food delivery business performance has improved, while the quick commerce revenue has risen in Q2. The management says that they are no strangers to competition, and all the new entrants in the quick commerce are welcome. They add that there is significant operating leverage in the food delivery business, and 3 out of 10 cities in quick commerce are profitable. The company has over 8,800 crores of cash on books and believe that at now, they don't have any need to raise further capital. Next up, Monte Carlo hit a 52-week high. The management expects positive growth in Q3 as the quarter has been good. They guide for some improvement in revenues and margins. And also they believe that double-digit growth is due in the home textiles business, which is roughly around 15 to 16% of their total mix. Lastly, we also had a rare management that spoke to us here on CNBC TV18, Solar Industries. They're guided for defense revenue growth at around 1,500 crores in FY25. And also for FY26, they're talking about defense revenues going to around 2,000 crores. For FY25, the revenue growth is expected at around 20 to 25%. That's for the company on the whole, while they say that margins will be around the 25%. They add that the order for Pinaka is due in the next 1 month. Well, time to wind down on the show, but before we do that, Vinny is standing by. She's here to tell us about all the top events that we need to track. Vinny, take it away.
So yes, in terms of key events on the global front, we have the OPEC and the non-OPEC ministers meeting tomorrow. So yes, keeping an eye out on that one. Important one, especially in terms of the crude prices that we'll watch out for. On the and in the US market, in the global front, we do have the US trade data that will be coming in, as well as the initial jobless claims data. Keep an eye out on that. In the Eurozone, we have the retail sales data. So that is important to watch out for there. Domestic, we are watching out for corporate action that will be coming in from Sudarshan Chemicals, where the company is going to be meeting and mulling a fundraising plan, as well as that could be via a preferential issue. So keep an eye out on that announcement tomorrow. Do not forget, a Nifty weekly expiry is there tomorrow, as well as we have Devendra Fadnavis, who will be sworn as the CM of Maharashtra. So that is something to watch out for. And in Jharkhand, the Council of Ministers are likely to take oath tomorrow as well. So here's key events and cues to watch out for tomorrow.
All right, Vinny, thanks a lot for that. Taking a cue from markets nowadays, Vinny in green, giving us all the events we need to track. But on that note, we'll wrap up on this edition of Markets Forward. You stay with us. Lots of news and updates coming in on the other side.